I love
Uh,
YouTubing you. It's my best.
You do YouTube me a lot. I know, and I haven't got my hair done. Anyway, moving on. So what I'm going to do differently is just, and if you would like to work with me to have your LinkedIn profile done, what you can do is, catch up with me after the event, da 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 da. So it's just about that next steps. That's what I'm going to do differently.
What I loved about today was just such a great reminder of firstly that point of seeding and really getting your audience engaged. I love to do that in many different ways. As was mentioned earlier, just a little bit of shock value. And then the other one, which I really loved, was just understanding your audience and engaging with your audience and tailoring whatever you're saying, regardless of the content, to your audience. Again, keeping them engaged and making sure that something actually comes out of what you're doing, and it's worth it for everybody, not just the audience, but the presenter too.
Okay, what I will do, Judith,
love it,
is I think I'm just going to look at the presentations that I normally do and incorporate a bit of the structure to it, including putting some of the tips that he suggested, which I thought were really good. So just, I took a lot of notes and will incorporate into the presentations that I currently do.
Doing the one-to-many, it's creating that energy in the room right at the start. Doing the one-to-ones, I've actually recently started doing Facebook Lives once a month, and I kind of have the topic in my head, and as the person who helps you run it says, the knowledge just comes out. So for me, it's making those, being succinct at, these are the points that I'm talking about. Because it's only a 10-minute thing. These are just the couple of things that I really want to focus on.
So I'm pretty much just across all the 7 steps. I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit further to where it already is. I'm pretty much doing most of them already, but just tightening it up, just cleaning up the rough edges a little bit more is one thing. But next week I should hopefully have an appointment with a major paint company to meet the new buyer. And that's always an interesting prospect after dealing with a company for so many years and a new buyer comes along. So I'm going to work on number 2, which is more about the icebreaker and focus in that area and understand what their background is. So get more information from them rather than give them a lot of information about me.
Thank you, Judith. Good morning to everybody. Look, I got a number of things out of Dale's presentation this morning, but I think the biggest thing that I got out of that was about how to create that credibility and why you're there and why you're speaking on this particular topic. So I think that was really important, and just about the percentage of time as well. So spending that 5 to 10% on being able to establish your credibility and why you're there. At 5 to 10% of the time, and so that's really what I'm going to work on for my next presentation.
Thank you, JR. I am going to ensure that my energy is up before I go into the presentation, which I normally do, but also connecting more to the audience through the heart beforehand. And I loved the bridge at the end, like planting the seeds, coming to that bridge at the end, because a lot of the time we're not allowed to sell, but that is such a beautiful way to do it. Without
Absolutely. Love it. Fantastic. And it's great to have you at the Sydney BBG Super Forum. You haven't come to one of these before.
Sitting on the Gold Coast.
Yes, good morning and thank you. So the 3 things that I really want to focus on and use Dale's content this morning is my one-to-one experiences. I'm going to try and get 100 participation. So that way then I'm helping them be more present to our conversation. The second one that I really love is to just reiterate, but in language that works for me, my commitment to you as I'm doing the one-on-one conversation. And lastly, I'm definitely going to incorporate more of the structure that Dale's expressed, have less steps. That's definitely been a key takeaway. I'm seeing that I I will include far too much content and overwhelm people.
Yeah, hi. I would say he's very fortunate because he temperamentally has the ideal characteristic for a public speaker, which is lots and lots of energy, which you talked about. And I remember one of my mentors once saying the only thing more contagious than enthusiasm is the lack of it. And he certainly doesn't have a lack of that. On the other hand, what I would say to you is that there's a tremendous tool you can use for analyzing audiences. And he basically said, I connect with them, but he didn't say I know. He did it actually by energy and activity. But in fact, pre-audience, you can find out by asking the host and the audience what makes what's the heart of the emotion? What is the driving emotion in that audience? And if you're particularly speaking to single clients, because most companies have a culture and there's an emotional drive behind that culture. And if you can unlock that, you're really on the way for trying to basically get some business out of it, because you sell to the heart and not to the head. Thanks. That's my takeaway.
I love that. And
what I will do differently is I'll intentionally teach only the content that will actually create desire for my service. I think that's a key takeaway, because often you can get stuck doing other things and talking about other things. But he was really impressed that on me to intentionally teach only the content that will create desire for my service.
What I'm going to do next is to create a desire by engaging the audience so that I can successfully plant a seed. Most of the businesses have got challenges in their organization. So what I can do is by planting a seed, they will be able to, when there is a need for them, they can look up to me then. That's what I'm going to do.
Well,
and you can use it, sorry to interrupt you, Arv, you can use it right up now as you go into your talk about Refer On in a couple of moments.
No worries. My key takeout was how informed our members are and how in tune the members are with each other, and what an engaged group we are. And what I want to do is my 3 seconds is, please, I'm going to just put it in the chat now. Please post, please post, put this in your, make something in your chat. If you can click that link in the chat and just write something. I've done as much as possible in highlighting a lot of the people. If you write a comment, it increases the algorithm and more people get seen. And also, if you can write a little comment and hashtag BBG forum and business blueprints and anything that you want to that relates to your business. So what will happen is you start sitting on the back of everyone else, and you'll increase your center of influence. And that, to me, that's the main why I'm here, and hopefully why you here, is you want to increase your center of influence with as many people as possible, but of the right people. So when you come to this forum, in a forum like this as a member, the power that you've got is if you can actually target your audience and know who your audience is, invite them to a forum like this as your guest. So you can sit on the giants of the likes of Dale and JR and Ivan Schwartz, so that you can actually say, well, listen, this is who I am. I'm Ivan K. I'm associated with Karen Chaston, who's like sort of a guru in what she does. Why don't you join me as my guest to this forum? Now, we've got 20 members in this forum. If each of us target and send out invitations to 200 people on your LinkedIn and send the invitations out, you're going to increase your center of influence. But if you send 200 people out, there's going to be 3 or 4 people that will come. Now, if 20 people, 4 people come of the right audience, and this group all has the same audience, what will actually happen is you're going to have 100 people that is your circle of influence, and you're going to be the champions, no matter who speaks. This is your forum. You own it. And that's
Thanks,
the
Ivan.
power.
I'm a guest of Ivan Gay, so the proof of your work is in the pudding there, Ivan. Yeah, I typically I speak on a subject and sell on a subject that's typically unknown to the audience. I'm an expert in corporate energy affairs, and I mostly find that I'm explaining what corporate energy affairs is, and not really getting into the meat of signing people up for any of our programs. So for sure, as I said to my breakout group, I typically wing it, and I'll be making more of an effort to plan the 7 points in my presentations starting in an hour and a half from now.
Thank you, JR. Thank you, everybody. For me, what I really enjoyed was how naturally Dale asked so many questions of us and so much engagement from us. And that's not new to me, but it made me see how little I actually do of that. And because I like to talk a lot. So I'm definitely going to practice these questions, have at least one question per point to get that feedback during the talk. And less content is definitely better because he covered a lot of ground. And yeah, definitely one to watch again.
Guest, I'm Aaron Tisdall's guest. She kindly invited me, so here I am. At an 8 o'clock start, which is unusual for me. If you see me striking, that's because my forest cat is in my lap. Takeaway, I actually will go back to the invitational bridge, which was the closing point. And if you were talking about engagement just now, trying to get everyone to put their hands up, one way to get people's hands up in the air, whether it has a phone in it or some other form of device, was actually, again, Karen Tisdall's idea, which everybody had in our group agreed upon, is the QR code, slipping a QR code up in one of your slides, because you'll be guaranteed that half of your audience is going to be like this straight away, just to see what it is. And if it takes them to your particular product or service or information page, then that's actually a bridge, an invitational one. For the structure, everybody agreed, having the set amount of points, but having it on a sliding scale for the amount of time that you're presenting, absolutely brilliant. I have zero problem talking with people and having a chat. I can structure things. I've been able to do that since the 90s. I did a Laurie Smale course, so chatting's not a problem, but sales is not my bag at all. So that's something that I need to pick up on. So having the confidence around everything else that we picked up there with the structure, a little bit less in the Tony Robbins style, as he pointed out himself, just be yourself, use your own form of humor and use your own way of presenting, find where you're comfortable and stick in that space.
Hi, thank you for having me. I was actually invited as a guest through Ivan, which I'm grateful for to be here this morning. I think I'm the only one here who doesn't have a business. I had joined to learn how to improve my communication skills and my relationships in my personal life and both professionally. So what in both my personal life and professional life is really understanding people's needs and the value that they need me to bring to their lives, and also understanding my communication methods and understanding that different audiences, different people require you to communicate differently. So that's what I'll be doing moving forward.
Hello again. Look, the key thing for me was the structure. You know, when to remove the adrenaline when one is presenting, just think through the steps, accept or reject those that work for you, but having a structure is super useful. That was my take.
Love it.
Back in my office, how is everyone? Key takeaway, like I mentioned before, it's truly seeding. I feel as if those of you that know me, I'm good to connect. I can connect with you. I can actually feel you. My biggest struggle is feeling like, and this is my own trigger, and I'm the psychology practitioner in the room, but my biggest trigger is feeling like I'm coming at you with a sale. But I can see the way that Dale explained it, that it's just small seeding about past clients. It's not about me. So that was really interesting, that like you can seed, like a client of mine in the past that has implemented this. I can see how that is so much more important than even telling your own story. So that's what I got out of it.
For me, what I've learned and what I'm going to be implementing in my business and the way that I speak is really bringing structure in. And there were so many gold nuggets along the way that I would like to go back to how I present and bring my authenticity to my speaking. Not try and be somebody else, which is not somebody I ever try and be, but really making sure that as I speak, I bring all of that into my presentation, the caring, the directness, and that absolute desire for the person who I'm talking to and adding value to win in 100%. Thank you, Karen, for that comment about PJ. I think that's exactly right.